is quite a wide top, so the wide course unit. Though there are areas that I guess most of us are familiar with, yeah, right from descriptive statistics that were explained briefly last week, and quite a number of others. So what I was suggesting is there are some sections of the course that we shall use as material for the presentation. Because normally we give coursework, you go and do the coursework, prepare something, then come and present. Some of the chapters within that book and the other reference sources, you may do them as presentations, preferably two people per presentation, yeah, or per question. As for today, we're now narrowing down. I call it introduction, but it's more of a continuation of what we covered last time. Now, biostatistics, by the look of its content, it has a lot of assumptions that to present. It has a view that a student has some basics in statistics. So if you look at that material, that textbook, and many other textbooks, they don't go deep. They just basically look at the theory, look at why we need biostatistics, look at limitations and so on. Not much is done in the area of statistics, and yet that is the foundation. And now what has resulted because of that, you see, after doing the course, you're not comfortable. You just know a few definitions and a few concepts, and we give the work to other people. And that's the issue that personally I would have. Because you're going to do research, I accept we can be helped, we can be aided through the, but I would recommend you own your work. Don't carry out, maybe you're doing a research and send someone to the field when you're not there. Or you go to the field, get the data, dump it to somebody, then it's up to him to do the analysis. How will he do the analysis? Because his mind is basically numbers. I'm going to calculate mean, going to calculate variance, and so on. That is not analysis. You know, it is you who has designed the research. So you go to the field, you pick information, you assume you're not biased, though there's an bias already by the time you go out. But then when you're carrying out the analysis, there's a way you are going to look at data and compare to that person you're giving to analyze. For him, it's just data. He doesn't know what you've done. He doesn't know in the field of health, sciences, and biology. He doesn't know. So what do you
Recording in progress.
Which is not the case. You will go analyze your work. You will identify something. Oh, yes, these are women of this age. This is the impact the antibiotic has on them. So, in summary, our point is try to own your work. Even if someone's helping you, let you sit there and see the basic steps going through. Maybe, for example, you talk about entering data. That one is it. You go, now we are going to the stage of entering our data into the system. What do we want to capture? Want to capture sex, want to capture the name, want to capture location. Then start, maybe enter some data 10 like that and leave him to complete. Before he does anything, move ahead. What's the next step? What do we want to pick? Which field is of interest to us? We are going to illustrate something, a certain model, mathematical model, to help us just appreciate what we're talking about. So please have that in mind when you're doing your research. It will get more interesting than you being forced to cram things you don't know how they came up about. So let us go through it. Now, what do we intend? Yes, this. What do we intend to get from our presentation today? Again, please always remember that what I'm seeing is the slide view. So if there's any issue Anything you don't understand or is not clear, please just unmute and comment, because I can't see the list of participants. So we are going to look at a few more definitions in statistics, a few more definitions in biostatistics. Now that I've defined them, what constitutes that definition. Then, having done that, this is the theory, the theory part there. Why study biostatistics? And you'll get that in the textbook. Though people put them a bit differently. If you get a book written by someone who's biased towards statistics, he's going to write about statistics. You gauge from the examples he puts there. If you get a real biostatistician, in other words, someone from the health department, for example, his example will be different. Number 3, we shall narrow down to statistics. Yeah. Look at its limitations, look at scales of measurement. After then, we see how to move. But that is our target for today. So let's start. Of course, yeah, I review, so that I mess up with my animation. In the previous class, we've already done our review. So we want to move to our definition. Now, we are defining statistics. We can define that by the way. You can get it from online and so on. But we want to look at this definition today in a different way. There it says it is the science which deals with and follows collection, classification, tabulation. But what you can pick out from this definition is that it is a science which deals with right from the time you start collecting the data. By the way, it's not the time you start collecting, but the time even designing before you go to the field. That collection to the time you're going to carry out analysis. So you explain the processes there, the steps, what you do, up to the time you carry out the analysis and present. That is statistics. So what is involved in there? We shall go to collect data in the field. We may collect our data, say, from an experiment or from a simulation. After collecting the data, possibly, this is what we're talking about, we will know, why did I collect this data? There's a possibility the data is targeting women who are pregnant within maybe the first 3 months. Of course, as you collect data, maybe you put the first 3 months and put the charges to those how they call them? What are I've forgotten. Someone can remind us. Anyway, the duration of pregnancy is always subdivided. So there's a first part, there's the second part, there's the third part. So that's what we're talking about. Now, your target could be maybe the first 3 months of pregnancy, but you'll end up collecting even the others so that you don't bias the people giving you the information. So you see, so how will you do that? How will you do that in your questionnaire? Or maybe in your interview? Yeah, that is classification. After collecting all that information from the people, now you are managing your data. You are tabulating, for example. It could be tabulation, it could be drawing of graphs, and so on. So it's more of presenting that data in a format, certain format. Why do we do that? It's because as you tabulate, in the process of presenting that data, there's something that will come out. For example, if I use a scatter graph, you put those stars there, that's representing the data. But after plotting it, that is when you know, oh, there's a star somewhere lying far from the others. You have not calculated, you were not told, but you have identified an outlier. So tabulation can help you identify things that you didn't know. Many data analysts know what an outlier is. But the context with which you're going to look at that outlier is different. A statistician will do a number of things. He may say, okay, there's an outlier. Let me give an explanation. Or say, there's an outlier here. Why should I? let me throw away these records, just one or two. And yet to you, a medic, it may be a resource. It is something very important that you didn't know to your findings. So an explanation. That's our point. There is it is very important that why should I let me throw away important these records involved in it. If your data, if you are the investigator. So after presenting that information, it could be tabulation, it could be mathematical facts, of course, compute standard deviation, compute variance. Again, I would have a lot of interest. No, let me see the variation. Let me see how data is scattered between the different patients, the records. Then I know what to measure. You give me who doesn't know, I just want your money. I compute mean variance finished. Tell you that is important. But variance brings out an aspect that possibly didn't consider. Generally, of course, we've mentioned quite a number of examples within that definition. But that's just to highlight that in the different stages of our statistics, we want to get involved. It brings out something very important. That's our definition. But now they're telling us statistics is a science. That statistics, or the word statistics, now bullet number 2, if you give close attention, sometimes it's used to mean the methods that we apply on data. What are the different things we are going to do? That is statistics, to manipulate. The other one just describing it as a science, but methods that we apply on our records, on our data, can also be defined as statistics. So a science or the process. Okay. Now with that definition, remember we looked at biostatistics. We mentioned it earlier. We're going to redefine it again. But let's go to biostatistics and see how it relates to this. Now, I remember Andrew mentioned this in the definition, biology. But of course, yeah, for us want to generalize health science, it is statistics that is coming out from the field of biological sciences or health sciences or medicine or public health. That is biostatistics. We said statistics, look at the definition, science which deals with collection of data, manipulation, and then finally analysis. But now if that data is from the field of health sciences, from the field of public health, then it is biostatistics we're talking about. Why? Take the name bio something. So the statistics about from the area of biological sciences. So that's it. That's the only difference. However, there's a reason why we don't, they want to narrow it down and give it a special name biostatistics. There's a reason as to why, which we are going to see. Remember our previous bullet, we were highlighting something, that the term statistics is used to mean either statistical data or statistical methods. Now, our statistics about public health can also mean dealing with statistics in the field of medicine, biology, and public. So definition there, but it can also mean the methods we use to handle our records, our data from that field. The science and the methods we use to handle. Defining by statistics that science, but then the methods we use to manage that data. You know, data from public health, data from biological sciences, they're a bit unique. They're a bit unique. That's why they give you that name. And that uniqueness is what we are going to appreciate. The other thing is, it may be a resource. This is a bias. Something very important that to you. But we know initially, many people were going in for biology and so on. Remember those years, they used to do what is called sub-math. Many students, even researchers, by the way, they were biased by that for them, they need little mathematics, just little to help them carry out their research. But as time went on, they realized that's not the case. They have to go deep and do some statistics. So we could say they were lagging behind a bit in manipulation of data and statistics. When things are hard, we shall throw it away. However, as things change, they felt, no, we need to come up. We need to come up with our level of statistics or mathematics, so whichever area. And that's how biostatistics comes in. Of course, one will want to know the history. How did these things begin? Why could we just say statistics for public health? This is how it started. Back around 1920, 29, someone goes ahead and publishes a paper in the field of physiology. So we could say the journal was about physiology. It publishes papers relating to physiology in that area. But then they're telling us in 1921, someone published something on statistics in that journal. So it's like it opens their mind a bit, to open their eyes, say, hey, this is also applicable in this area. In 1937, I told around 15 articles by that person was presented in a book format. The other one was just now a paper published, but now 15 articles in like a book. You can see the change, big change. The book. In 1948, our colleagues from computer science, we are going to accept this as gospel truth. RCT of streptomycin for pulmonary TB. Now let's look at it as TB. They wrote something about TB and was published in that publication. Those publishers published it. And its effect, a big influence, I think key influence. By 1982, if they measured it, the number of the research relating to statistics in medicine, if they compare from 52 to 1982, they say it had multiplied over 8 times. And that sets the ground running for biostatistics. What happens after 82, that's many years ago, we have not included it here, but we know a lot of work should have been done in that area. So that's our theory on statistics. I hope we are together. I will continue. So why do we study biostatistics? Remember, I just mentioned to you a few slides back that why do we say biostatistics? Why not just use their statistics to help us achieve our objectives? Of course, there's need to own in any other person that wants to own his research and so on. So number one is that generally in all fields, there's increasing use of statistics. And the same apply to even within biology. So generally that was a trend everywhere. So I said, we don't let ourselves behind. I mean, health, biology, science, and so on. Number two, narrowing it down there, they realize that those processes, biological processes, are affected by quite a number of factors. Which factors you will not see it once. The tests that these days are carried out within a sample, blood, is the name they use it, just one. You take it from a patient, you carry out multiple tests on the same blood. Is there an element of statistics there? We are going to see. But our point here is there are many factors, multiple processes that affect or that are under consideration. But the role each of these factors play becomes the issue. Let me just try to illustrate. I'm going to turn my video on to highlight that. This is what we're not really developing a model here. Can you see my board? Please confirm. Can you see the board?